Hi, I'm Sebastian, and today I'm going to be making my own Glee setlist. Basically, I'm going to be creating my own setlist for the new directions that's for sectionals, regionals, and nationals, using my own song choices and giving solos to who I want to give solos to. Because as we all know, Mr. Shu on Glee was pretty well known for having some pretty bizarre song choices. I mean, we're not even going to be talking about season 3 sectionals, like that's not even gonna, it doesn't fit in with my fantasy, it just doesn't exist, okay? Not to even mention like season 4 sectionals as well, although I think that was Finn's choice, but still, there have been some very poor choices for set lists on the TV show of Glee. I'm here to give the set lists that the gays deserve. Just a note before we get into my choices for all of these, I will be talking about Finn and Santana, played by Corey Monteith and Naya Rivera respectively. Now obviously both of these actors have unfortunately passed, so I just want to give a little warning before we get into the video, because I will be including both Santana and Finn in my song choices and in the numbers, but if that's too much for you at all or anything like that, please feel free to, like, you don't have to watch this video. You don't have to, you can skip it, it's fine. I mean, I did have a conversation with myself about which Glee Club members I should include in this, because obviously we have, I think, 3 generations of New Directions members. Like, we have seasons 1 to 3 where there are, you know, changes throughout, you know, hashtag Lauren Zizes should have been a main recurring Glee cast member. She should have stayed beyond season 2. Like, she was literal, like, Jesus. I don't know why she, you know. Then we have 4 to 5, which, you know, it gets a bit murky, it's a bit controversial. A lot of people don't like the new, you know, that second generation of Glee. And then we have season 6, which, to be honest, I can't even remember all of season 6, so I will not be including any of the season 6 Glee Club members in this video. If I ever do a sequel to this video, or like do this video idea again with different songs, I might include the season 6 Glee Club members, so please don't get offended if your fave isn't in this. But I've decided that the Glee Club members that I want to use are the majority of the recurring seasons 1 to 3 members, and also Unique and Marley from seasons 4 to 5. Because I mean, you know, the seasons 4 to 5 newbies are, you know, very controversial with the babes. I personally really like Marley and Unique, and I think that Kitty has an interesting voice but is a very problematic character. So I think because I've already got like 12 of like the originals, the OGs, I'm only just going to add Marley and Unique because I think they add something interesting to the mix. They're also besties and, you know, two of the best characters on the show, period. Now, the amount of songs in each set list has kind of been a bit of an issue, particularly talk about season 3 sectionals, right? Because Trouble Tones had only 1 number. It was a mashup of 2 songs, but it was 1 performance slot, whereas New Directions had 3. Obviously, New Directions will always be prioritized because it's about the New Directions. So I've just decided to give 3 performance slots for sectionals, regionals, and nationals. So there'll be 9 songs in total. There's also usually at least like 2 other competing show choir groups. I've just decided to highlight 1 for each sectionals, regionals, and nationals, and given them a set list of songs based on what I think fits the vibe. You'll see it fits. Everything works. It'll fit. Okay, so sectionals. Okay, what have I got in store for the babes? What have I got in store? The first song New Directions sings, 1 out of 3. The first song is Falling Slowly from Once the Musical, and it's gonna be sung by Blaine and Kurt, with the New Directions kind of supporting. You know, very much following in the tradition of New Directions starting off a set list with, I mean, let's be honest, it's usually Rachel coming in from behind and then Finn. They did it with Quinn and Sam one time with I've Had the Time of My Life, and that was really good too. But I kind of can't believe that we never got a Klain one on the show. Like, we got Klain singing Candles together. That was the only competitive show choir, you know, competition, whatever song that they did together. But that was when Kurt was still in the Warblers. So I think it would be really, really cute if Kurt and Blaine, you know, did the starting off from behind and then they walked slowly to the stage, and then eventually the rest of the New Directions joined them maybe by the time of the final chorus or whatever. I think that would be really, really cute. And also, Klain never really got competitive solos in New Directions. I mean, Rachel was probably busy having her 400th like solo, so like, you know, no room for Klain, but like, you know, this is how we start off in my version. Falling Slowly is also a beautiful song, so beautiful, and I think that is very lovey-dovey, very much in the same vein as Candles, but I think would be a very great song to kick off the sectionals set list. The second song that they're going to be performing is Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa. Ooh, this one, you know, it gets the crowd bopping and popping after a very beautiful kind of ballady song like falling slowly. It's the middle number, we got to pick it back up, you know what I mean? And so Don't Start Now, we have got Marley and Unique singing, as well as Santana and Rachel singing. Those are the 4 main soloists. And then also kind of like season 2 sectionals in Valerie, we have Brittany and Mike performing some sort of dance moment, kind of a dance solo bit with them. Because Don't Start Now does have like 1 or 2 instrumental kind of like dance break moments. I thought that would be really, really cute. And obviously the rest of the New Direction supporting them as well. But so that's the vibe. That's the vibe for Don't Start Now. Marley and Unique probably are kind of like singing off each other, bouncing off each other, and then Rachel and Santana are singing off each other, bouncing off each other, but they can also like intermingle, interwove, intercross, whatever. That was just what I thought in terms of like voice types, like similar to Dua Lipa, and also that could really just like, you know, kill it out. For the final sectional song, they are going to be singing No Light, No Light by Florence and the Machine. This is like a banger. It's a banger. It's a banger group number. Very anthemic. And so who are we going to have? So we're going to have Mercedes, Tina, and Quinn as the main 3 soloists. Because I mean, as we know, Mercedes and Tina can absolutely bang out a Florence and the Machine song. The fact that Dog Days Are Over was never like a competitive song that they did at one of the like competitions, like absolutely blows my mind, because it's one of the best covers that, like maybe top 10 covers that they ever did on the show. I mean, season 2 sectionals is like kind of one of the best episodes of Glee, I think, in my opinion. But like they easily could have just added Dog Days Are Over into the 3rd song, because they only had 2 songs in season 2 sectionals. I mean, unless they pulled like a season 1 sectionals and did Somebody to Love, but like off screen, like unless they did an off screen 3rd number, which I can't really remember. They could have just done that with Dog Days Are Over. But I mean, also a great vibe of like end of the episode, we won sectionals, great vibe. So you know. And then also Mercedes and Tina were both in Shake It Out, I think, in season 3. That was really good. So yeah, their voices are like heaven together, and they only have like 1 or 2 songs where they're really like playing off each other and like singing together and duetting, and it's just like mind-blowing. I mean, Glee really is the show of having such a stellar cast with such stellar vocalists, and like really underutilizing pairing them up with each other and like favoring like a few pairings. Like, I am on board the Rachel and Finn ship, but I'm also like, they don't need 700 duets, you know what I mean? We can give one of those duet slots at least to like Mercedes and Unique. Why did we never get a Mercedes and Unique like duet on Glee? Why? Quickly, Ryan Murphy, quickly. But anyway, I also added in Quinn as well, because I think Quinn has a beautiful voice. Diana Agron's voice is seriously underrated. I'm getting so passionate I've turned Australian. I say as if I'm not Australian, but it comes out when I'm passionate. But yeah, I think Quinn's voice would really suit this number 2 in combination with Mercedes and Tina. And then obviously the rest of the New Directions back them up. You know, that's kind of, yeah, that's a given. But yeah, that's the sectional set list. For my other competitive show choir group, I chose the Waffle Toots, just because of the name. And I mean, I think they were in season 4 or season 5, so like one of the later ones. And I don't think they were originally in the sectionals, but I was just like, okay, so this is the vibe. We get like a quirky kind of like, quirky sort of group that sort of isn't much of a real threat. I mean, that's usually the sectionals vibe, isn't it? I mean, sometimes New Directions went against the Warblers in sectionals, but usually it was just like some really, it was a chance for a gag, really, have some sort of quirky other group. And so I have the Waffle Toots singing Ding Dong by Katia featuring Trixie Mattel, and I think that this would be a very close tie, very close match, but I do think New Directions would pull out just a bit more. Yeah, that's what I chose for the sectionals part. Next is regionals. Regionals is getting a bit spicier, I definitely feel like sectionals usually has a bit less of a competitive vibe. Regionals really picks it up a notch. Sectionals, I mean, apart from Gangnam Style, which we do not talk about, it's usually pretty like, it's a low hurdle that you can get over. Now I'm going to talk about the Warblers first, because, oh, by the way, the Warblers are the regionals counterpart, because it's usually, the Warblers are like quite a big threat, but not the threat. It's usually always Vocal Adrenaline. So I've saved Vocal Adrenaline for nationals. The Dalton Academy Warblers are going to be doing regionals, and they're going to be the main rivals at regionals. And what I've decided to do is make the Warblers have a Harry Styles centered set list. Okay, now hear me out. I think that it's very much their vibe. I think they could nail some Harry Styles. I think that if Glee was still going today, the Warblers absolutely would have done like 2 Harry Styles songs by now, probably. If not this exact set list that I'm about to like speak out loud. Okay, so the first song is Golden by Harry Styles. It's a banger, it's a banger, it's a good opening one, I think. And then we've got Adore You, classic, crowd pleaser, really good. And then ending it with Canyon Moon. Canyon Moon's an underrated one, I think, from Fine Line. I feel like it's definitely like third song vibes. It's like, you know, it's a, you know, crowd applauding one. It's very final song in a set list energy is what I'm saying, and I don't know how to articulate it other than that, but I think that would be the Warblers set list, and I think it would be very, very good. You know what I mean? Now, in terms of like who's leading the Warblers at this point, don't ask me because I truly don't know / care. You can draw your own conclusions if you want Sebastian Smith to like do it, or if you want like Hunter or like Skylar. I don't even know. I don't even care. But ideally it would be Blaine, because Blaine and the Warblers is the best era of the Warblers, obviously, but Blaine is on the New Directions. I don't know, but I mean, obviously this is all imaginary, so Blaine can, you know, perform 6 numbers. It's fine. He can just play for both teams, and quite frankly, that's what they should have done with the sexual orientation, instead of make Kurt be biphobic out of nowhere, like, babes. Okay, for the New Directions for regionals, I have got Soulmate by Lizzo as the first song. And who's going to be singing it? Well, Mercedes, Artie, Blaine, and Brittany. I feel like these 4 kind of get grouped together quite a bit in competitive numbers. Like Mercedes and Artie obviously go way back in terms of, you know, being paired together. And Blaine and Brittany too. I feel like this is a strong 4 to like open the show, open the set list. And Soulmate is very high energy, very pumping, very, you know, it gets the ball rolling, which is really good. And obviously a banger and has a great message too. So, you know, I mean, good job, Lizzo, for writing that great song. The second song is going to be a solo, our first solo, and it is going to be When Love Takes Over by David Guetta and featuring Kelly Rowland. I have given this solo to Unique. Okay, because hear me out, okay? Unique is, in my opinion, one of like the top 3 most talented vocalists to come from Glee. Alex Newell is like genuinely like so talented. The things that their voice can do, I'm just like in awe. Like if you haven't been listening to like Alex Newell's like solo career post Glee, they have some bops, they have some jams. They were also on Zori's Extraordinary Playlist and as Mo, and they were incredible in that. Probably one of the better bits of the show. It was quite a flawed show, but I mean, it was also a great show. But yeah, so Unique will be taking this solo and the New Directions will be supporting her. I mean, Unique never really got a proper solo in a competition. She had If I Were a Boy in season 5. That was her first solo, even though that was her 3rd season on the show. She got her first solo. And then she had I Know Where I've Been in season 6. Both outstanding numbers and just covers in general. And Unique kind of gets pigeonholed into the same pigeonhole as Mercedes, where she kind of just takes over Mercedes' role of just like providing excellent runs and like wailing at the end of a number, which like if that was combined with them actually getting proper solos, then I guess that would be fine. But it's just like the only time we hear Unique is when she's providing like the top harmony or like the top, you know, singing the high notes, you know, belting them out at the end of a group number. It's like, Ryan Murphy, can you do something that doesn't warrant prison for once? Like, incredibly underused Alex Newell was on Glee. But so Unique gets the solo here, and When Love Takes Over is one of my favorite songs ever. Such a bop, such a banger. Alex Newell playing Unique would absolutely murder that song, annihilate it. Like after that song, there's no way, even with the Warblers' 3 Harry Styles songs, there's no way that anyone else is winning after that song, like, babes. But we do have a 3rd song for the New Directions, and that is Into You by Ariana Grande. It's kind of a crime that we only got like a few Ariana Grande songs on the show. I mean, obviously her music career has really taken off in the second half of the 2010s, whereas Glee was 2009 to 2015. So like, I get it. But like, if Glee was still on today, they would have covered like 10 Ariana Grande songs by now. And Into You, absolute bop. And who have I given it to? I've given it to Rachel, Santana, and Quinn with the New Directions. I think that I can so imagine them singing this song. I mean, like literally it kind of sounds like Lea Michele is singing the opening like verse of Into You sometimes. Like when I'm listening to it, I'm like, is that Arena or is that like Leah? I don't know. You know, I'm giving the Furberry and giving the Pezberry ship is what they want, you know, with this song. Because I do think the 3 of them would absolutely crush it, crushing it, babes, leaving nothing left. And I think that after When Love Takes Over, this is like a solid banger to close to. Okay, now we're on to nationals. Now we're on to nationals. We have reached nationals, and I'll go to Vocal Adrenaline first. So Vocal Adrenaline, I've given them 2 songs because that's what I decided. Now, who is on Vocal Adrenaline, you ask? I don't know. Honestly, after like Sunshine in season 2, I kind of forget who was on Vocal Adrenaline. Like, I mean, obviously Unique was on in season 3, but like after season 3, I kind of can't remember who was on Vocal Adrenaline as like the lead vocalist. I also kind of don't care. I mean, I think they had Skylar Aston. Oh no, I think that was like Vocal Throat Chop or something. I don't know. Vocal Pork Chop was, I don't know. Skylar Aston was one of them at some point. But so Vocal Adrenaline. So the 2 songs. The first song is Supernova by Kylie Minogue. Oh, it's a banger. It's a banger. We can just say Blue Hydrangea's leading that one. And the second song is Euphoria by Loreen. I think that's how you say the name. I don't actually know. Lorraine. I love Lorraine Toussaint. Was amazing in Orange is the New Black season 2. But yeah, those are the 2 songs. It's obviously a vibe, obviously kind of like a kind of Europop vibe, which I think is very much one of, you know, in Vocal Adrenaline's wheelhouse. I actually genuinely would give up all of my life savings to watch a episode of Glee where Vocal Adrenaline performs Supernova and then Euphoria in like nationals. I think that kind of pops off. Like my mind when I was kind of writing these down on my notes app, like my mind. Okay, so for the new directions, the 3 songs. Okay, so here we go. The first song is Paradise by Coldplay, and I've given that to Blaine, Sam, Mike, and Artie. I will be honest, this song is mostly just there because I realized that the Glee boys and, you know, the New Directions boys, I've kind of given them barely any numbers, mostly just for like Sam and Mike and Artie. I mean, and Blaine I've given quite a few because I mean, you know, but yeah, I was just like, I need to give the boys something to do, so I was just like, okay, they can have Paradise, but also like, what a great banger. What a great, Paradise is nationals vibes. You cannot argue with me and tell me that Paradise isn't nationals vibes. It's so nationals vibes, babes. Okay, the next song is Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper from A Star Is Born. And okay, so here we go. So I have given this song to Santana and Finn. This number doesn't have the rest of the New Directions in it, pretty much. It's mostly just Santana and Finn. Now, when deciding this number, I knew I had to do Shallow as like the nationals ballad, or, you know, that sort of a number. It's like Rachel's It's All Coming Back to Me Now moment, but I don't need Rachel, so, you know, bye Rachel. I mean, Santana just has like the voice for a Lady Gaga song. Any Lady Gaga song where she's one of the soloists, she just like devours, she crunches, she munches, you know what I mean? So there was absolutely no way I was going to give it to anyone else besides Santana. And then thinking of like a male counterpart to that, I kind of had to go to Finn, because obviously Santana and Finn did have like a bit of like romantic connection at some point. I mean, we can talk about how the season 3 coming out storyline was like the biggest mess of all time, and the way that the writers handled that was absolutely appalling. But at the same time, Santana and Finn are 2 characters that do have a really, really close friendship, I think, on the show. And obviously both Naya and Corey were really close as well. So I am aware that this is a little bit heart-wrenching, this placement, which is why I wanted to give the warning at the start of the video, because when I had decided that Santana would be singing this song at nationals, there kind of is no other choice than to have Finn singing it. I think it makes sense for the characters, it makes sense for the song with the vocal types, and I think it would be a really great and beautiful tribute to both the characters and to the incredibly talented actors who portrayed them on the show. So that is the second song placement in the set list. And then the final number of nationals is Green Light by Lorde. And now, babes, I've got a list of the vocalists that are going to be singing this. So I've got Mercedes and Tina, because again, their voices go really well together, and I think they would really do well in this song. And then what I've also got is a couple of couples, because kind of mirroring the way that Paradise by the Dashboard Light is set up, where they have like groups of, you know, the pairings of the characters as they are on the show, you know, then kind of having their own spotlight moment throughout the song. And I think that could kind of happen here. So I've got, you know, Mercedes and Tina on like lead vocals. And then we've also got Santana and Brittany, Kurt and Blaine, and then also Marley and Unique. I think that they all would do really, really well on this song, and I think that they would, you know, bring New Directions home with this banger. They absolutely would. They absolutely would. And yeah, that is my set list. That is my full set list for if I could create my own fantasy kind of, you know, sectionals, regionals, and nationals, obviously with my own kind of amalgamated Glee club. Let me know if you like this video and if you like, you know, this sort of a concept, this sort of a style of video. I can do like another set list. I can, you know, I mean, listen, if y'all want me to write my own season of Glee, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below, because I can, you know, I've already got thoughts. In coming up with ideas and preparing for this video, I was like, you know what, I could very easily write my own season of Glee. I do see that for me, so let me know if that's something that you'd watch, like including like this, but like for like full 22 like episodes. I've also created a playlist on YouTube that features all of these songs, so you know, I'll put that in the description below, so you can kind of, you know, listen along as you watch this video, or kind of, you know, think about it, whatevs. Yeah, whatevs. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.